Live.
Oh, now it says it's live.
Oh,
Just came
well,
on.
then we're
Well,
live.
hello, everybody. Now that we're live, I think. Dead or alive, one of the two.
Can somebody drop a comment? Yeah, there. Conrad said we're live.
Got a few hellos there, so if anybody's got any questions, fire away.
Well,
Missing a couple of people.
do we want to start with Conrad? We're getting wicked echo off of your. Oh, Jesus! Hang on, it could be me. There we go. There, that's better. All right, Conrad, are you on? Earth to Conrad. Come in, Conrad. Oh, he's on. Do you want to introduce yourself? Since you have a new official role now?
Well, he needs to speak up, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not seeing you online, Conrad. It says that you have. When Rick responds, I'm not sure if it's really Rick or if it's somebody else. So there he is.
I'm here. I had to reconnect the mic. I turned it off, so I wasn't getting no feedback in here.
Ah, sweet. I can still hear myself though.
Yeah, I don't have headphones on here. I'm on speakers. Yeah, no, Rick's not on. If I comment from the interface here, I'm commenting as Rick. I can't figure out how to change it to my name. So I've just been commenting through the YouTube links.
Is Rick going to join us tonight?
I have not heard from Rick.
Wonderful.
Daniel said he was late. He popped in a minute ago, still driving.
Yeah, and Daniel's going to be. Yeah, Daniel's late and Rick is missing. That echo is going to drive you crazy.
Let's see what I can do here. All right, let me mute myself and I'll see what I can do to find the mic here. All right.
Well, he's doing that. We could start with some questions, I guess, if we have any.
Yeah, if anybody out there's got any questions, fire away. We'll be glad to talk about it.
We do. Conrad has a new role here, so we're just waiting for him to connect. Everybody wants to know what's up with Conrad. Well, his microphone is too sensitive. That's one thing. Oh, there's Acrylic Designs. That's one of my peeps. All right, you got the mirror running.
Okay, what have I been working on this week? Well, I can show one of the things. This is a upcoming laser project that'll be I'll have out here in a while.
Is that
laser
acrylic
cut,
in there?
layered. This is 3mm wood from Home Depot.
Even the white, is it like inlaid type stuff?
No, it's just the back layer is painted white.
Oh, okay.
I stained the front layer, and this is just like the prototype for it. I'm going to be doing some demonstrations, and this will be a free download when I get it posted. So that's one of the things I've been working on.
I'm trying to think what I worked on this week. It's been completely, just customer things this week. I've been working on my new studio. That's because I want to get out of my workshop. So hopefully in the next few weeks.
Is that any better?
Well, let's test it. A little better.
All right. All right. Turn that mic off. I don't need to be involved in this.
So do you want to introduce yourself then, Conrad, and tell everybody what your role is?
Sure. My name is Conrad Wheeler. I'm here merely to assist the either the moderation of the stream and or to help facilitate the starting of the stream. So
That's the polite way of saying we were pretty chaotic before.
Well, so somebody's got to be in charge. You all busy people, busy stuff.
Yeah, I spent my whole career being in charge. I don't want to be in charge anymore.
Oh, I feel you.
All right. We're missing everybody tonight. Rick, I guess, will probably show up, right? You said he's in the car, or is Daniel in the car?
Daniel was in the car driving. I have not heard from Rick yet.
Okay, to answer the question about whether this was done on a laser or CNC, this was done on laser. Of course, you could also do it on a CNC. But yeah, this was laser cut here.
With standard Home Depot plywood?
Yep, 1/8" plywood, 4x8 sheets at Home Depot.
That's what I use now too. I got so tired of spending big bucks on quote unquote laser grade material that's just as warped and just as terrible to cut most times as hardware store plywood. So I just use the cheap stuff now.
Well, what I'm doing with it is I cut it into 16-inch squares because that fits on most of my lasers. And I stack it all up, put a piece of cardboard on top and a cement block. And then when I take it out, it's nice and flat.
Yeah, that's what I should be doing too. It's a real estate issue with me. I have to lean it all up against the wall, so it's going to get warped by definition. And
well, even if you leave those 16-inch squares just laying out flat, they'll curl.
Yep. Yep. Can we post this one? What was this laser?
Sometimes connection issues are actually the USB cable. I've helped a lot of people troubleshoot their laser connections, and they actually had a bad USB cable.
Yeah, I've had that problem too. Or if your laser requires a USB 3 cable and you plug a USB 2 cable into it, it won't work.
Right.
The Comgrow Z1. Yeah.
Yep. I had one of those. I gave it to my wife's son for him to learn to play with it. He's not a youngin' either. He's in his 40s, so well, him and my grandson can play with that. I didn't have any issues with it at all. I used it quite a bit for a while.
So what's our protocol here, Conrad? Are you posting stuff into the feed for us, or are we still doing that? Because I can poke my fingers into those moving gears if you want. Ah, where'd he go? There it is.
Anything specific for the chat or content? I can facilitate some conversation if you'd like.
Yeah, just sometimes we miss questions, that's all. So
yeah,
and just kind of trying to keep the context on the conversation here.
Okay, best way to load images to burn. I usually put them in an online program called ImageR first as a rule, and tweak the contrast, etc. with it, and then I save it, and then I import it into Lightburn.
Yeah, I try not to touch the image if I can avoid it. If I do, I'll drop it into Kittl and do, they now have a way to improve the resolution. They call it AI, but I don't know how AI it is. And you can make it a higher resolution image, which is nice. It does a upscaling. But I try not to mess too much with the contrast and the brightness. Although with that great carve scratch acrylic, I did have to raise the brightness quite a bit to make it look good.
Yeah, like we were talking about before we went live, I've got a huge pack of that. I just haven't played with it yet. Just came yesterday.
Yeah, it's probably the same pack they sent me. I think it's a general like sample pack, where you get a bunch of their leather and acrylic. It's a nice. I like it. It's nice material. Oh, before we get to that one, let's do the follow up on Peg here. So she did switch out the cable. Yeah, I don't think it's the power cable if the lights are on, but if it's not the USB, then the USB interface is messed up on the controller, but that's less likely, I think.
Or a bad port on the motherboard. I saw that with a
Yeah.
two-tree laser.
There's always also some just cheap cables.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I've seen USB cables, especially where you plug them in and nothing happens, and then you look at the thing and it's really only a charge cable, so it doesn't have the data lines in it. And it's like, why? It's two pieces of thin copper wire. Just put them in there.
Yeah.
Now back to this one. So the CC. Oh yeah, okay. Good starting software. For design or for generating G code? I guess I can answer it anyway. For generating G code, there's a couple. Candle, which is terrible. Universal G code sender, UGS, which is okay. And there's a new one now called G sender, which actually seems to be a real workable program, and they're actively working on it. So it's a nice one to use. Now, as far as design, the usual suspects. Any drawing program like a vector drawing program like Inkscape or oh, okay, so it's to send G code. Okay, well that's yeah. So I use well on my Onefinity I can just load it right there out of VCarve, but G sender is the new one. I'll see if I can find it here and post a link in the chat.
I haven't tried that one yet. I use Uggs most of the time.
Yeah, I've used it too, but then somebody put me onto G Sender, and I actually like it. It's and they're really actively working on it. It's done by CNC Lab, the guys that do the long mill CNC. So there's the URL to it, and it works. It's really nice. I did have some trouble with the Genmitsu CNC, but then there was apparently a later version of the software that fixed that problem. So, oh, there's another one, Open Builds.
I haven't tried that one either.
Yeah, I looked at this one a while ago. It's okay. It's that's the real challenge is they're all just okay. Like people use Easel too, and Easel's fine if you pay for it, but the free one limits you to tool sizes and speeds and a whole bunch of crazy limitations. So I didn't use it very long.
I've pretty much been sticking to Carveco, so it works out
Yeah.
well for what I do.
I had a license to Carveco too. I loaned it to somebody because I wasn't about to use it. Acrylowood Designs here uses Aspire, so that's the upscale version of VCarve. So that's a nice tool. Oh, there's a question for you, Roger.
The longer nano, if they decide to send me one, yeah, I'll review it. I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, they asked me if I wanted to test it, and I gracefully declined. Not because I think there's anything wrong with it. I'm trying to do fewer reviews. Yeah, there you go. There's the honest truth. Easel sucks.
Yeah, it's
and I agree.
if you're a very, very raw beginner and you just want to make like a circle or a heart or something, yeah, Easel's fine, the free
Yeah.
version. But to use it for anything else, unless you want to pay for it, the free version ain't going to get you much.
Yeah, it's really limited.
Yeah, you can cut 1/4 inch MDF on a Z1. You have to slow it down quite a bit. MDF can be hard to cut.
Yeah, you got to be careful on the type of MDF. There's a couple different types that use different glues in them, and one of them is just brutally hard to cut.
And there's one called MDO, which is really hard to cut. Oh, how did Daniel flip a semi over? Did he do that?
No, I think he's just a spectator. Hopefully he is. Wow.
That already hit him with a hammer.
Yeah, where was I? I was about to select something here and it went away. Oh, there you go. The true sign of a maker, desperation. Yep. I've had a lot of conversations with Acrylic Designs over the last couple of weeks. We've just become email buddies or Instagram message buddies over engraving mirrors. And it's just the problem with lasers, and I mean, you probably get it too, Roger, is people will say, what are the settings for X?
Oh, like, yeah, I get that all the time.
What laser do you have? What power is it? What day is it? Are the tides high? Is the moon full? Like, just there's so many variations, right? So yeah, it's really hard. Always run a material test is the answer. Yeah, I like V-carve. I would like Aspire, but it's several $100s more. The new V-carve is coming out in April, version 12, and one of the really nice features it has that you couldn't do in 12 or in 11 was it does, if you create a toolpath and you say it's an inlay, you can create the plug and the socket in one shot. You can create two toolpaths out of one selection, which is really kind of cool. So you don't have to do all that putzing around that you had to do with previous versions of V-carve and try and figure out how to get a piece that fits into the socket. So I think it's going to be a big step forward. But it comes out in April, so you have a couple of weeks to wait.
It would be nice if they would include exactly what size bit to use, especially for those fine points when you're doing an inlay, because I've gone through that where my inlay didn't fit the socket too well.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got something with a square corner that a CNC won't do.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to make compromises. You don't have square corners when you do that stuff, at least not inside corners. Question about veneers on basswood. I don't know. I don't really think about gluing techniques. I just put glue on there and put it in a clamp, squeeze it together.
I'm a tight bond guy, unless I'm in a real big hurry, and then it gets the CA glue.
Yeah, my tight bond is usually, well, it was here yesterday because I was using it for another project, but I buy it by the gallon. Hey, there's the man.
Hey guys, sorry for being late, man. I actually just lost track of time. There's my apologies. Well, did you guys obviously introduce our new admin?
We did. He introduced himself.
Nice one.
Every time I kept turning on my camera, they kept calling me back.
Daniel didn't get a chance to join us today, or is he joining us?
He's stuck in behind a rolled over semi. Apparently, he's caught in traffic.
So I did the first time these laser engravable leather patches. You guys seen these?
Yep.
So I was dialing these in, and I just did
that
a
looks
bit.
like it'll do grayscale.
Yes. pretty crazy. So yeah, I made 3 different ones, and I was just pushing out a big order of hats. With
Are
these.
those done on a fiber or
On the fiber?
is that looks like scratch acrylic or scratch leather?
Yeah, no, it's on one side it's
Well, while he's hunting, let's answer this question quick, Roger. These are terrible questions to answer because you always get somebody who goes, "No, I'm a Rolly fan," or "No, I like longers."
Well, I don't have a Rollies, but I do have a longer B1, so my preference would probably be longer. As far as having pets or not, we have lots of animals here, but they're all wild ones. We don't actually have any pets. But if somebody would like to have a herd of deer or a pack of coons or a bunch of skunks, you can come and help yourself.
I guess in that order, I would say longer too. Again, because I don't have a Rolly, but I've heard great things about the Rolly. That's all I can tell you. But I know the longer is a nice laser. As far as pets, I use one of them in my benchmarks all the time. One of our 2 Chihuahuas are the only pets we have. So, other than the wild animals that roam around the yard.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that worked.
Yep.
I just switched to the mic.
Okay, to answer a previous question about any videos on doing inlays, I did one here maybe a week ago on how to do a very simple inlay. It's not complicated at all. If you've never done one, that'd be a good one to start with.
Yeah,
That was just using a heart shape.
I did one probably 3 weeks ago. This seems to come up in every video, so I did this one.
Roger, are you on 2 screens?
Am I on what?
2 screens. I see two Rogers.
Your slide is there.
Oh, that's my slide from what I put together today.
Nice.
So if everybody can see that, that's a laser enclosure for Great Carve that they had me demonstrate. And that is literally the IKEA of laser enclosures, because it took me an hour to put all 98 nuts and bolts in, put it together. But it's a nice enclosure.
And you had 12 bolts left over.
Oh yeah, they send you extra parts, especially since I dropped a few nuts that rolled underneath the table saw. So, but this is it's a nice enclosure.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, looks spacious.
How does it open? Is it like slide this way toward you?
No, the lid folds. It's like a bifold lid that folds shut. It doesn't have a built-in fan like the Orateur, the Comgrow, or any of those other ones. So it's got a 4-inch port back there, but I already had a ventilation fan hooked up. And no, I know you're not supposed to use plastic hose, but that was handy.
Nice. Yeah, I
use plastic hose all the time.
I got yelled at for doing this on TikTok, and I didn't have the vacuum hooked up to this, but I moved it because when I was trying to film it with the phone, it just looked crappy. It like that big ass cone, and you know what I mean. So I just moved it out the shot.
We suffer for our art sometimes.
Yeah. You know, I just whatever. I just thought it didn't look good, but if I was doing it, obviously.
Well, this was a nice enclosure, but I also answered a question that I get quite a bit. Well, if you put an enclosure on a laser, does that make it a class 1? No, it doesn't. Not at all.
In fact, some of the lasers that are enclosed today that say they're class 1 really aren't.
So do we want to specify what makes a class 1 or what exactly is a class 1? Because it seems like that keeps coming up.
I don't know the exact specifics or laws or rules or NEMA regulations or whatever, but okay, I got some next kind of stuff going too here, but I got the old classic. A class 1 laser in general is totally enclosed, and if you open it up, it shuts off. That's kind of the basic overview of it. But there again, if you like open the bottom of like an X-Tool S1 to put the riser kit in or the conveyor, it's no longer a class 1 because it's not totally enclosed anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, and yeah, class 1 is not harmful to people in any way. no matter what you do to it. So if you open the lid, it has to stop, for example.
Oh, okay, okay.
And you can't have stray light kind of scattering around outside the cabinet. So it has to be enclosed. And
Nice one. Well, there you go.
most of the open frame lasers we all have kind of grown to know and love are class 4 lasers, which are basically as dangerous as you can get, pretty much. So yeah, don't poke your finger in, don't stare at it without glasses. Well, don't stare at it anyway, but yeah.
Well, even the models that have the shield around the head, which blocks most of the blue light, you still can't stare at that without goggles or glasses on. It'll damage your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I get kind of gimmicky though, because like I got these ones that seem so light. I was like, do they really work compared to like how dark these are? I don't know.
Well, so the ones that are in your right hand, those ones,
yeah,
do they have any kind of engraving on the lens on the front?
Yes.
Yeah, so those will be certified.
Okay.
The other ones are your $1.50 bargain basement specials that may or may not protect you.
Okay, so you think the ones that actually are lighter, since they're all subscribed on it, they're actually legit?
Yeah, well,
Versus
keep in mind though, it's not about the color necessarily, right? It's about its ability to block a particular wavelength of light.
Yeah.
The green ones probably block. Well, no, they'll only block probably the diode wavelengths around 400 nanometers. The orangey ones will block also the 1.06 micron, 1064 nanometers.
Now, I have a pair of goggles I wear that are made by Cloud Ray. Of course, they're orange, but they're also
you talking
not
about the big giant ones you had?
Yeah, my bug eyes. But I can wear them over my glasses, and they're comfortable. And a lot of times, I'll forget to take them off.
Driving down the street in your car with them on.
Why is
there's
the whole world born?
There's an idea.
Good for driving at night.
The only thing I hate is like with a fiber laser, you can get it dialed in, right? But you kind of got to raise it or lower it just a little bit just to see how it's reacting, because it's almost like you want a bigger arc, right? So I'm blind without my glasses. So when I take these off and I put on those safety glasses, I'm like, so I find myself like switching back, even though I shouldn't, but I'm like trying to see. I don't know. If they make these,
at some point, you won't need the goggles.
Yeah, I guess if they made these prescriptions, I might actually buy them.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get them.
Yeah, for a price.
Yeah, I have. For being a lineman, or Roger, we had to wear safety. We wear safety glasses every day.
Yep.
So I had prescription safety glasses because I got tired of putting those ugly covers over my glasses and scratching my glasses up.
I still got them. I actually wear them in the shop sometimes especially when I'm working with a router table or the table saw. I'll put them on.
Yeah.
I don't know how solid they are to stop a bullet coming off the table saw.
Well, they're actually bulletproof and they're fireproof.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah, because the arcs. If you're ever doing something to some arcs.
Yeah, well, welding glasses, right?
Right.
Well, for electricians, you need things that are arc flash safe.
Yeah.
And in fact, the arc flash suits, which I'm not going to get too much into, you kind of look like a man from headed to the moon when you got the full suit on.
Yeah, the blast suit. It's a little nuts.
I actually do have in my right eye, I do have a laser burn in the back of my eye from 1989, probably.
Conrad, what happened to you, brother? I see it says device not connected, but I see him in the chat.
He's there. He turns himself on when he needs to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm being in the background. I did have, if you had a question, I had a question that some people have asked about the last couple of days. It's in regards basically to the use of lasers and CNCs in traditional woodwork. We all know you can use a laser to cut, shapes into wood or to etch wood and whatnot. And you can use a laser or a CNC to basically engrave shapes into wood. But beyond having it do that particular thing, how would it be used in combination to a typical woodworking project? How would you use it in making a box or shelves, or where could you use it besides using it to edit or shape a piece of wood.
So I think I posted early on, like it was one of our first videos. That
Well,
yeah,
here's a box that was made with a laser.
Yep.
It's actually a business card box, but I have other ones. I've made big boxes with a laser.
Yeah, Stephen, we talked about it on our actual first live. Remember that when I posted on Facebook the lasers, people were saying that's not woodworking.
Yes.
And it was like a repeat thing. Like it's so.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we all know that it's a tool. You know, you get a bandsaw, you get a table saw, you get a coping saw or a scroll saw. It's all a tool to do woodworking with. And a laser and a CNC is yet just another tool to make other woodworking items with.
Right.
And so I was like, how can you integrate that tool into a larger project?
My whole thing is that it is just another tool in your toolbox that you can level up your woodworking. Whether you're doing custom engraving, whether you're doing inlays, whether you're doing joints. So it's definitely a tool that you're adding to your toolbox. You're doing things with, but some people disagree on that.
So I've shown this before. It's actually a player box for D&D, but that's all engraved with a laser. But for my stuff, I use a laser all the time to put my logo on the back of something or somewhere on it. So it's like a chisel, right? You use it when you need it.
Yep.
I do that too. There's our logo on the back of. Actually, this is a real. I don't even know why this is up here. But this is a real popular sign that we sell.
Is that satanic?
Yeah.
What the hell? Religious callers do not knock. Oh my God.
I also make
put some holy water on you, bro. Put some holy water on you.
I also make another version of this. It's a little larger. You can actually put a door knocker on that you buy like at Menards or Lowe's. Yeah, this is a real popular seller.
Man.
with the witchcraft people.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I made this. Yeah. That's my cousin. So, and I cut that to size with the laser. Just put 2 little screws. So I'm gonna send this to his mom.
With thin wood material, you'll find that a laser works better for things that you would use a jigsaw for, like curves, especially, right?
Yeah, look,
like this thing I showed. This was all cut with a laser. All these little pieces that got glued in, the outline to put them into, that was all cut, laser cut. That would take you forever to cut by hand, right? Or even you couldn't really cut it with a jigsaw. So
we've all tried.
Forever sanding it.
Yes, and failed miserably in my case.
That's why we have lasers.
Yes, and that's the thing, right? It's a tool that takes expertise like inlays, and there's lots of these in woodworking, and allows regular people to do it without having to have 50 years of experience, right? Because
Roger, get some
lasers are very much what you see is what you get, unless you amp up the power. Then what you see is a bunch of charcoal. But
now that sign's been very, very popular. It started out on Halloween last year, just for Halloween. We do a lot of stuff, Halloween signs, and that became extremely popular. And now I can't hardly make them quick enough.
I would love to get a CNC or laser just to make templates. I still love using hand tools, but surely aid in precision along the router and flush trim bits. Absolutely. Making jigs, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I can see where that would be, if you had a piece that was too big or you didn't have a laser big enough to cut out a big stock, you could make a template and then router it out, with a bigger router and do it piecemeal.
yeah, it's good for making your own tools too, right? Like I make every once in a while, I'll need a ruler, so I'll go make one, right? I'll just cut one out. This was done on a CO2, but for specialty tools that you either can't get because you're making something that's unique to you, or the tool you need is really expensive, but you can make it yourself fairly easily. So I do a
Yeah.
lot of that kind of thing too.
I was
And
thinking
jigs
about-
are a good example, right? Where you're the only one who's going to use that jig.
For this
And
question, I would say 10 watts. Don't even try with a 5. You'll be forever.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 would be pushing it. It'd be probably 2 passes if you wanted a clean cut.
I think 20 is your sweet spot, right? That's like the laser. You can do pretty much anything. And
Yeah.
40 is, well, all right. It's a 40. That's
So
enough.
Yeah,
what's
in the ideal space is the 20 to 30 watt range. 40,
But-
sure, if you want, but you're going to spend half your time with the thing idling because it's too powerful for most things. You
Right,
wanna-
right. Yeah, you bought a 40, but you're not using 100% for sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what's your
that Falcon 2 Pro that I just did the review on this week. That one's nice because it comes with, it's a 40 watt laser, but it comes with a 1.6 watt laser module. And the only thing it's for is for engraving. So if you want to do real fine engraving, because the beam size is about a quarter of what a 40 watt, well, in fact, it's less than a quarter of what a 40 watt one is.
So at the end of the day, this CNC or laser, which would you recommend first in asking? I would say it depends on your wallet.
And it also depends on what you're going to do with it.
Yes. And how much space you have.
Yes. I'm looking at the one that's like a full sheet of plywood. But
48.
Yeah, but
48 by 48.
Yeah, but what's crazy is that it's like $6,000 for the table, basically, right? And then all the accessories go up. So, but all the bells and whistles like 26 grand.
Yeah. Yeah, they're CNCs can eat money pretty quickly.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you can get a high-end laser that's pretty badass, but to get a high-end CD, it's like buying a house, right? So it just really depends on like, it's like saying I want to buy a sports car. Are we talking a Mustang or a Ferrari?
Yeah, it depends what you want to do, right? If you just want to cut things out, a laser's the way to go. But if you want to do like 3D contour kind of stuff like that, then you need a CNC. You can't do that with a laser.
I saw someone earlier in the comments say that I didn't give my bamboo distribution, and I said I bought those ones I showed yesterday from Aldi's. So I don't know if you're in the States, Aldi's has like random weird stuff sometimes. But,
all the time. Aldi's has random weird stuff all the time. There's always look down that aisle to see what they got.
Yeah. So Steve, have you ever seen an Aldi's?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm actually kind of shocked that they're in the US because they're an Australian company, right?
German, a German company.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah.
I thought it was
But
Norwegian.
I've seen them in Australia. They're fairly popular. But now that you mention it, I did see one in Germany when I was there about 2 years ago, probably.
I could swear it's like Swedish or some such. You break up the Google box.
Okay, so I think we should address this. So many people that they classify a wattage incorrectly, right? They're like, I have a.
You need to talk about the wattage output of the head, not the input.
Right.
Yeah, but this Mira 9, the 75 watt output.
It has a 75 watt output. I almost have to Google that. Really?
Really? Well, the one I built is 90 watt. This X2 P2 is 55 watts output.
That's a CO2?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a couple of reasons for this. Well, we lost. Oh, there he goes. Essen, Germany, Steel Town. It could be the alignment could be bad. Could be trying to clean the optics. 75 watt, you should be able to get through 1/4 inch pretty easily.
Yes.
Well, you got to be careful, right? Because a 40 watt CO2 laser could have difficulty getting through a 1/4 inch Baltic birch plywood. It depends on the lens. So if you got a 2.5 inch lens or a 2 inch lens in your CO2, you're going to have trouble getting through 1/4 inch. If you have a 5 inch lens, then you're probably okay.
Hey,
And
Roger,
that's a function of how long the usable focus is.
Roger, how'd you do that with your monitor? Is it because you have dual monitor in your computer?
No, I do have dual monitors. I'm just single monitor. I'm just using a laptop tonight.
Oh, so how did you get that picture to show up?
That's you can add slides to your,
Oh, okay.
and I tried that tonight. That's why that slide is there of that laser enclosure.
What do you guys think about the template around the edge I added there? It's obviously being covered up right now, but
A shameless plug for our live stream.
yeah.
In case you didn't know where you were, in case you ended up here by accident.
And we did have a couple people actually say that. Remember, we were like, "What?"
Yeah, somebody did arrive by accident apparently.
Yeah.
I was playing around and I got one of these.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's because people kept asking us what our YouTube channels were. So, and so we don't have to hide the share the comment. I made that scroll.
Yeah.
And I made a couple gimmicky audio sounds too. I don't know, Conrad, do you want to share that?
Oh yeah, let's see what are these.
It's kind of funny.
Oh, where they put these things.
What's going on, Corp? Thanks for joining us week after week. Appreciate the guys' support.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. That has tacky written all over it.
Yeah. I said there were some tacky ones in there.
Now you need the cymbal crash for somebody's bad joke.
Oh, I got something like that. I got the.
Oh, there we go. Like squeezing a duck.
Brown teacher.
That sounds like my old manager.
Oh, I get to play with all the buttons.
Yeah.
Are you doing that off a Stream Deck or something?
I loaded it into StreamYard.
Oh, you can do it directly?
Yeah. Go big, just speed, and watch out for the coppers.
That's a reference to Daniel trying to get home.
Oh, nice one.
Fighting through traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, so I found out too, there's also a plugin that we added to StreamYard that when we're doing these giveaways, instead of us just actually like scrolling up, we can ask them to hashtag something like hashtag live giveaway, whatever we want, whatever term we set. And then we click it and it automatically pulls from the comments and picks the winner. I think we could try that next giveaway we have. That was pretty cool.
Well, to answer this question, just want to engrave a standard $3,000. If you want a pretty good Class 1 laser, the X2 one or the We Create Vision, either one.
Yeah, those would be. You can buy two of them for $3,000.
Yeah, one of each.
Yeah, but the only thing that the We Create doesn't have a pass-through, does it?
No.
It's completely enclosed, so that would depend on how big you're wanting to engrave something.
Yeah. Now We Create is coming out with something new next month. And they're supposed to be sending something new to me, whatever it is. So we'll see what it is. They've been pretty coy about what they're shipping, but you know, I'm not, as far as I know, I won't be under NDA. It won't be like an X-Tool laser, but I'll let people know what it is when it arrives. But it might be something that has a pass through, because I'm sure when you look at their kind of marketing strategy, their marketing strategies very much do what X-Tool is doing. Like well, it is. You look at their software, like I actually put them side by side, XCS and X-Tool make it, and pin for pin, they're functionally the same, right? So so they're, I guess, you know, they're taking the proven path, right? And it seems to be paying off, because I don't know, like they sent me an affiliate check, and I looked at it and went, holy cow, how many of these did I sell? And it was like 75 or something.
Cool.
So thanks to everybody who bought one, but it just shocked me that it was that high. So they've sold a pile of these things.
I did a little side-by-side comparison of the S1 and the We Create, and of course, all non-sponsored and everything. In my opinion, pros and cons. I haven't posted the video yet. I haven't got around to editing it, but yeah, they're basically both the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a head-to-head on those two as well a while back, couple months ago, and I came out with the same conclusion. It's like these are the same laser for the most part. The 20-watt version. I do think that one of the things that We Create is doing is they're working on a 40-watt version. I know they're working on an IR. They told me they were working on an IR module.
I'm so far with the IR modules I've played with, I'm not real that impressed.
Yeah, they all tend to be 2 watts.
2 watts.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh, that's Daniel. Daniel, close your mic down. They're all 2 watts. Now, I think once they have enclosed lasers, they could go bigger than 2 watts.
Yeah, the X2L S1 I have as a 40 watt, and the my We Create's a 20, I think.
Yeah.
And of course, when I got the S1, I'm using it for cutting, and pretty much that's all I'm using it for. So therefore, I went with the 40 watt.
I wouldn't do it, Vicky.
I'm getting
What's
an
up,
echo
guys?
feedback from somebody.
Yeah, that's Daniel.
Daniel has his Daniel, your mic's picking up your own speaker somehow.
Here, let me mute him for a second and we'll test it. Hello. Yeah, it's him.
Now,
Yeah.
Is that a little better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Still
Yeah.
echoing?
Could
No,
you
you're
or
good.
would you set up a laser on a foldable sawhorse outside on patio stone?
I don't see why not. But of course, you don't want to do it if it's raining, like it is right now.
I would make sure that the laser is on a piece of plywood or something, like bolted down.
Well, yeah, it needs to be mounted on something. You can't just have it kind of legs on a sawhorse. That wouldn't work too well.
Yeah, I would just be concerned if it is even on a plywood, just sitting on a saw, wind come, just blow it up and
Yeah.
knock it down,
I
pick
don't know. Well, you live in the windy city, right?
it.
And I live on the coast. It's windy here all the time. The wind here today was about 40 miles an hour, like all day, the whole day. It was just crazy.
Just been raining all day, man.
You don't know
Now-
rain, man. We got 4 inches of rain yesterday.
Yeah, Rick's getting the same stuff that we got, except he's getting it just a little bit later. We get it first.
Yeah, we got hit with the tornado last week. It landed in Oswego, like 5 miles from my house.
Daniel, we're still getting echo. It's your picking up your microphone. Turn your speakers
I got
down.
I got you.
Yeah, one thing about the coast is we don't get tornadoes. We do get hurricanes though.
Yeah. Would you use a laser to put big mechs on the mallet? LOL. Remember, don't look at the laser.
Yeah, I'm giving away a mallet I made last night on live.
To put big mechs. Are you Mexican? What's with
I think Big Mex is Mexican. He just wants his name on his hammer. If you engrave it right on the face of the hammer, when he hits somebody, he'll leave his mark.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, see that square, that rectangle on the side? You can put that in there with the laser.
Well, whoever wins it, they're going to get their whatever they want engraved
Nice.
with the Viking logo.
There
Nice.
you go.
Oh, you did that with the laser too?
Yeah.
Look at you. Hey, so
It
how are
didn't
you
do
liking the laser?
It didn't do too good with the Coco Bolo, though, because the oil's in it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it did okay, I guess. But you can
Yeah,
see
right.
where it kind of...
Just amp up the power a little more, and you'll be fine.
Or wipe it down with acetone first.
Yeah, and then maybe slow
That's
it
a good
down.
idea. Yeah, that's a good idea, guys. Thanks. I mean, it turned out decent, though. I mean, I'm not too disappointed.
Oh, you can see it's a Viking. That's
Yeah.
the important.
Yeah, Daniel, this is my experiments today.
What was that, leather?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It almost looks black and white. What do you call that? Negative effect?
Yeah, so it's silver on this side, it's black on this side, and you go kind of through it, and
So
so there's like a fine
It
line.
looks
between-
like the filter, negative filter.
like it looks the same as this stuff, right? This was supposed to be leather too. It actually
Yeah.
is. The third layer of it is leather.
What
But
do you
the
call
top
that?
layer is something else. This is
Great.
scratch leather, the same guys that made the great carve.
This
but
is from
Grace-
JDS.
But Rick
Grayscale
got
or
his from
something?
somewhere else. But it's the same. I probably have
Yeah.
a material test that looks very similar to that.
Yeah, just
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't know you could do that.
they come in huge sheets this big.
The packages I got weren't anywhere near that big.
No.
I
Yeah, I got
little,
a big package. What
I
can
got
I
a little,
say?
I've got little 8x10 sheets of it to play with.
I said I got a big package. What can I say?
Keep it civil. Our advertisers won't hang out.
Right? Yeah, so our running joke last night was don't look at the laser.
Well, I actually used to make a sign that says, don't stare at the laser with your remaining eye.
I have the sign I have on my laser is not only big danger sign. Of course, you've seen them on electrical boxes, and it says not only will this kill you, it'll hurt the whole time you're dying.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's good stuff. Let me. I'm gonna reposition my phone here, so y'all can see my ugly mug. Sorry, I'm late. By the way, Jesus.
Does
Does
food
food
dye
dye-
stain wood last?
Only if it lands on something you don't want stained.
Right?
It's really hard on wood countertops.
I don't know why it wouldn't. I mean, I assume you're gonna coat it with like clear coat or something after, but
Yeah.
should work. Any organic dye. Some organic dyes are pretty unhealthy for you though.
That sounds pretty messed up, right? It's organic, but it's unhealthy.
Well, they're organic chemicals. Like red dyes. Early in my career, I worked in chemical dye lasers, and red dye number 5 was the one I used a lot. And it came in a little bottle, and there was this big warning on the side of it that said the effects of this chemical on the human anatomy are unknown. It's like get right in there. Let's go.
That's always
there you
reassuring.
go. There you
A
go.
bunch of guinea pigs here.
Fortunately, I'm still alive, so
Fleck
you
around
go.
and find out.
Flock around and find out.
Yeah, Roger, we're still getting comments on that sign.
Oh, okay. Hopefully that'll focus okay.
Wow.
That
It's
I
a
need
big
one of
seller.
those.
It is a big seller. I was just amazed. And the
I
best
need
part
one of
is when I'm cutting up cedar fence pickets to make our other signs, I always end up with these little odd pieces.
Yeah.
I just use that to make these.
So I've been getting a lot of comments in my doing my little lives that I do on the weekdays and stuff. Like, when are we going to start making something with a laser on one of these lives? What do y'all think about that? Like showing them in use.
Yeah, here's of course Daniel hasn't seen this. Something I made today in laser.
I would say
double layer
Oh, I
sign.
need that.
I would say that if we're gonna do that, then we should each have a featured night.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like somebody
Right.
be making something and then, the other three
Right.
can carry the chat or whatever.
Right. I mean, Roger normally makes 3D stuff.
Yeah, I just think it may bring a little bit of spunk to the chat.
The only problem with a 3D printer is it's like 12 hours later.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
It
yeah,
can take a long time to make something. Well, here, this little rack right here. That's a 12-hour print. Unless I'm using like the X-Carbon or the bamboo. But on one of these Creality printers, yeah, it's 12-hour print.
That's crazy.
God almighty.
I'll just go to Dollar General.
I printed an entire 1U 19-inch rack for my hard drives in my video rack here, and that took quite a while
Yeah.
Crazy.
because it
No, but I
holds
don't think that's a bad idea.
four hard drives.
I mean-
Another thing somebody asked me is they said that summer's coming, and during the wintertime, a lot more people are homebodies, and they'll stay home on a Friday night. But on a Friday night in the summer, they might be out getting cold beers or be out doing things. Would we be able to or willing to change our lives to Thursday nights?
I could do that because on Friday nights in the summertime, I am up along the Mississippi River drinking beverages, adult beverages, enjoying the river, and usually doing some fishing.
Nice.
Yeah, I
So-
can make whatever day work.
Do we
I think
want
that would
to
actually be a good idea.
start that next week, or what? When do you guys think this would be a good idea? But that was something that was brought to my attention.
Is it summer anywhere yet?
I don't know.
It was a couple days ago.
Last week,
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah.
last weekend I was using a chainsaw for like 14 hours. It was beautiful,
That's up to y'all guys. I mean,
I'm easy.
All right. Yeah, we can start
I know
posting
that's
some
right,
things,
Conrad.
let everyone know.
I
it
mean,
was
certainly,
Conrad. And I thought I saw his mug on here.
He's on here, just hit his face.
he's here.
He's moderating the chats, so we can focus on questions.
I mean,
Anybody
if
have any
people-
questions? Let us know.
If people want us to do like a live project, we can do that. Just like shoot a few ideas because
Yeah,
we
right.
we all do
Yeah,
a few things.
absolutely.
If you have a particular challenge, we can work on the material settings and stuff.
Yeah. And then we could possibly do more giveaways like that too,
Yeah, and then the
Like-
other thing is that some of us have the same lasers, but we all don't have the same lasers. So it would be kind of nice to actually kind of like feature a laser, like, hey, we don't have this laser, so show us, kind of a show and tell. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
So I don't think I told y'all yet. I reached out. Yeah, I told y'all about
You getting that
Grizzly.
operation?
I reached
You
out
getting
to
that
Grizzly,
operation?
the Grizzly
Grizzly
bandsaw.
tools?
Oh
as
yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
The animal.
And
Yeah.
they told you about something else, and you gave him you asked him for something else.
Are
Something
they
like
going
that.
to send you a bandsaw?
Yeah, they're sending me one on good faith.
For what?
Nothing.
What's good faith?
Just use it in the video.
Nice.
Show it up in a video every now and again.
Yeah, like I literally shot him an email and it went to the wrong department, but like that same day the lady put it to the right department. And then that following Monday, it was Friday, and that following Monday, he reached out to me and was like, I'll shoot you over the proposal. And I was like, I'm not very keen on proposals, but let me see what you got. I'm all ears.
Right.
And literally like 2 minutes after I sent the message, he emailed me back. He's going to go ahead and go along with it on good faith. Just, show it in the video and post a link on your description and rock and roll. I was like, what?
Cool.
Okay.
Really cool.
But I haven't received it yet. So I'm not counting that in before it shows up. But apparently he's sending it. So
What's this?
What is that thing?
Okay, you heard of the Thinker?
No.
This
The
is
Hooters?
actually meant to go into the top of a roll of toilet paper to set in your bathroom as a spare. So it's got a guy sitting on the toilet thinking. 3D printed. This is a little novel thing I made just for fun, but we're talking about how long it takes to print something. There's a 10-hour print right there.
Jeez,
Yeah,
why
just,
so long?
Do you have a resin printer? You could print that out of resin in probably an hour.
No, I haven't got into the resin printers. I've been offered them. I turn them down. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks
think
like
it-
an old Greek guy.
Seems
Yeah.
like a lot of people use the resin printers for making custom jewelry. At least that's what I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, for casting.
Yeah.
You can get casting resin, right?
Right.
And they'll make a piece of jewelry in resin, and then they'll create a cast out of it. I just use mine every now and again when I want to do something quick that I don't care if it's a bit brittle, because resin tends to be a little more brittle than something like PLA.
I have
Yeah.
11. I have 11 FDM printers or filament printers, and that keeps me plenty busy. I don't need to get into resin.
That's crazy. So you're technically a print farm, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can see a good part of it behind me back here, and then on the other side of the room is my bamboo X1 carbon, and then in my laser room back there, I got 3 more 3D printers, and there's also a bathroom up here. We used to live up here years ago. Of course, we don't use a bathtub, so I put a sheet of plywood over it, and I got 3 3D printers in the bathroom.
We're not going to see on those hoarder convention shows, are we?
That'd be a good spot to do this live stream through. I could sit on the throne. And,
Yeah, here you go. Well, you must have one of your printers must be a clipper printer by now.
4 of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
You can
a
print-
lot faster.
Yeah, you
The,
can print pretty quick with a
the-
clipper.
So Roger,
Reality, the
what are we
Reality
talking
Ender 3 V3 SE, which is right back here, is a lot quicker for what I call a bed slinger. But there's a Kitty X-Smart 3 back in the corner. You just barely see. That's a Core XY. That prints a lot faster, as does my X1 Carbon. But that X1 Carbon's not a cheap printer. That was expensive.
what are you talking on average for these 3D printers?
Oh, to buy one?
Yeah.
You can get a Ender 3 V2 for a couple $100.
So the big difference I think I see, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that basically can you only do one color, right? And when it gets like 4, 5, 6 different colors, that's really what kind of influences the cost.
My my bamboo X1 Carbon has AMX on top. I could do 4 different. Actually, I could do 5 colors if I really wanted to. I can do up to 16 if you stack the AMS units. But you're looking at a lot of money. I mean, that X1 Carbon was $1,500, and that wasn't given to me. I bought that.
Yeah, I want. They call it the Think Lab. I won't say the company I work for, but they have what's called Think Lab, and they make things in 3D printer. And their 3D printer is like, holy shit! It's like 5 feet tall. It's like huge. Like it's huge.
Yeah, those are industrial.
And like, yeah, it was like, man.
Yeah, there's a place not too far from me here. Last summer, they 3D printed a house out of concrete. And I did drive up to see them do it, or at least part of it. It was pretty cool. Biggest 3D printer I'd ever seen.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions, anything they want to ask us? Let us know. This is live question and answers. Obviously, this is what we're doing this video for. So just let us know, and we'll give you the best answer to our knowledge.
Oh, yes.
That was one question there we missed. How much power does a 10-hour print use? Not much. They're not big power suckers. I mean, of course, you don't want to try to run more than 6 3D printers on one 20-amp circuit, because that don't work. But as long as you keep it 5 or less, you're just fine.
Yeah, I've been big on saying the power conditioners, that how they make the sine wave power conditioners, how they make a big difference on your laser. That's crazy. Yeah. Don't look at the laser.
Don't look at the laser. So I took my safety glasses off when I was doing that Viking carve, and I lifted my head. I still had them, pointing at the laser, and had my head back to where the little laser box was blocking the actual laser, just to see if it was going deep enough where it had lasered already. And oh God, I never heard the end of it. I'm like, you really think I'm sitting there staring at the laser, people?
I will put one warning out there for everybody on a Class 4 laser. Even if they have the shield around the head, if you're engraving glass or mirror, that blue light will scatter everywhere. Keep your safety glasses or goggles on.
Yeah, for sure.
And kids away and pets away.
So what's something that you guys haven't tried, you want to try, and it's going to be a challenge, and it's something that, coming? You're like, hey,
cocaine.
I got to
try this. I'm kidding.
Something I want to try.
I want to get a CNC. I've never used a CNC.
Yeah, CNCs are nice. A little bit of a learning curve there, but they're nice.
I think the big thing with CNC too is the software, right? It could be pretty outrageous.
Yeah, unlike lasers where there's not a lot of free or cheap software. So you're looking at, when you're into more industrial lasers or CNCs, like I have a Onefinity, you're not going to run that with easel, right? It's just not going to work. So so you're looking at VCarve or Carveco, and then you're talking some bucks, right? So
Wow.
so yeah, they tend
Maybe
to be
not.
more industrial, right? Like they're more commercial type machines. So
Then when you get into the design part of it, and especially if you're going to do something 3D, you're starting to get into the software for the CAD part of it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, the
You're
design
spending some
stuff.
more bucks.
What's that software called everybody uses? I forget.
Fusion 360, the
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I have a commercial license for it.
yeah, so I'm supposed to be getting it. We'll see.
I have access to AutoCAD, which is nice, but I only have access to AutoCAD electrical.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna say I'm the same, but I don't know if I can't really use my work computer. Like it's so locked down, it's ridiculous.
I still do a little bit of consulting for a couple companies, and I have access to AutoCAD, but I can make great ladder diagrams, but I can't do anything with 3D.
Yeah, I use Fusion 360 a lot.
Thingiverse, printables, do a Google search. There's other places. A lot of times you'll just find the same files they've just been hijacked off of Thingiverse. So
Yeah,
it's pretty much the same stuff all over.
I've posted a few things on Thingiverse for people, but in general, I don't pull things down too often. I just build my own usually.
I think that Steve and Roger, you both have done this, but I think you've both done mirrors, right? I think I've seen videos
Yep.
you do mirrors.
Yeah.
I want to do a shadow box mirror and then do the LED lighting in the back.
Ah,
I did a little shadow box a while, well, 3 years ago, probably.
I'll be back in a minute.
And it was pretty easy, actually, to piece it all together. I just created from a bunch of art that I scrounged up, and the proverbial wolf howling at the moon kind of thing. I'll bring it in next time. It's over in my office, but I didn't put lights or anything in the back, but it was easy to do.
Yeah, I want to try that. See how that works out.
Yeah, the hardest thing is to line things up. I owe a video to one of my viewers who's trying to line up a very complex 8-layer shadow box type image, and it's really hard to line up. So I told her I would make a video on how to create a jig for that, but to get it lined up properly, because you never quite get it just right.
Right.
So
CA glue and hold it.
yeah, but you got to get it lined up perfectly, right? Otherwise it looks bad. So
right.
What's this? Oh, we missed some context here. Oh, Roger's got something else to show. Hopefully it's not another guy sitting on a roll of toilet paper.
Or something else. Something worse. I don't use anything right now. I've tried thin cutting material. I still working on trying to get thin enough without being too uncomfortable for me.
I'm trying to figure out where the response to that was. There we go.
Nice.
Fancy.
Turn. Now we're picking up of course, this is a mirror, so it's picking up my studio lights.
Right
over here.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I want to do. It's very cool. I like the banner too. The little designs in the corners.
Yeah. So this is a laser engraved mirror, and then it has LED fairy lights inside, and the frame and stand are made out of 1/2-inch MDF of all things.
Nice.
But the lights I've got on there, there's a programmable thing on the back, which I don't know if I can show it or not here. Now, there's a little box there that you can change the programming on it to have the lights do whatever you want.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I want to try that.
That's one of my upcoming, going to be an upcoming video too, if I ever get around to getting that one edited.
That's on a diode?
Yes.
Nice.
The frame was made on the table saw and the router and all that kind of stuff there, but the mirror was done on diode laser.
Nice.
Engraving from the back, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can be done from the front, but boy, does it scatter the light everywhere.
Yeah, it's messy.
Let's see, someone said.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Daniel's. Where's
sorry.
Daniel gone?
It's just his looks like his internet's being goofy.
Oh, it's his moment in the sun. There's a bandsaw question.
Bandsaw question for you guys. Mine's leaving bad ridges.
Yeah, it needs to be tuned up, and there's a guy that does a great job. I can't remember his name offhand. He's got a YouTube video on how to get your bandsaw perfectly tuned. Mine's an old small Delta benchtop one, but I did the tune-up on it and it made a world of difference.
Less teeth per inch.
That's your profound answer there.
Can y'all not hear me?
Just use a quarter blade.
Yeah, less teeth per inch. If you got too many teeth on the bandsaw, it's gonna. Anyway, whatever.
Next challenge, I want to make a little dowel cradle that's for my son. Going to try carving out a little heart shape the best I can with a chopping saw. Never tried before, and wish I could had a laser.
Coping saws work well if you keep the blade real tight. You have to keep them real taut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have patience.
Yeah, and be ready to sand a lot of it at the end.
I have a DeWalt scroll saw, and I still do use it. I don't use a laser for anything over 3/4.
And Vicky, let's be honest, you can go to like Hobby Lobby and those things and buy like little hearts and all kinds of different little pieces of wood cut out to shapes. If you wanted to kind of, put those in and cheat a little, that could help you. And
there you go. There's the obvious answer. Use a Dremel.
Yeah.
I actually have made a little router table from one of my Dremels that I use 1/8-inch router bits in that they make for routing over really, really small stuff. It works fine for that.
Yeah. I don't understand why router tables are so expensive. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
You're better to buy a cheap table saw and take the saw out of it, and you keep the table.
This Craig table, like, oh my god, this is expensive for no reason at all. Like, why is it so expensive?
Products are pretty expensive anyway. But
do you have a lift in that one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lifts are half the price of the table. Yeah, I have a rocker lift on my router table, which is built into the side of my table saw. I did that when I remodeled it, but yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, the thing is that you can do it by hand and turn it and all that, but it's just so much easier to go, you know. And then when I'm making something, I just keep a piece of wood. So when that's dialed in, I can just push it up against it and raise it. And all right, now I know it's dialed in. I got my sacrificial piece of wood. I have I redid the trim in my house. My house was built in 1865. So when I went to redo the trim, they said, you have John Adams casings. I said, what's that? They said, President John Adams designed that. So the only way to recreate that was to get a coping saw. And I was like, I'm like $1,700 in then to just make trim. Right? Like if I did trim for a living, like cool. But like, no. So I literally bought router bits and extensions and I made it.
Okay, if you want to use clear acrylic to light up base on a weak create, you won't do it. Not to have good results at all. You need a CO2 laser for that.
When you say burn, I assume you mean cut.
Well, even engraving on it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can kind of fake engraving a bit with a diode laser, but yeah, you're definitely not going to cut clear acrylic.
Yeah.
CO2 all the way.
Looks like Daniel's internet just sucking tonight.
Well, Daniel's out, I guess.
My network's-
Reboot your phone, man. Reboot your phone. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it, unplug it, and plug it back in.
Yeah.
Network issue. Is that Canadian network out where he is too, or?
Hey, notice my network is flawless. It turned out it was a bad HDMI cable running from my camera down, well, running from my rack over to my computer here.
Nice. Yeah, we kept thinking it was your internet connection.
No, my internet connection's solid.
Yeah, getting back to the clear acrylic, I've played with it with diode lasers, and you can kind of put black stuff underneath it and kind of fake it a little bit, but it doesn't come out good at all. You definitely need a CO2 if you want to cut or engrave clear acrylic.
I guess
Yeah.
it's possible, but to have repeatable results it'd be like hit or miss, right?
Well, even to generate the first result, it's touch and go. You
Yeah.
can do it. I did a video that showed 4 or 5 different techniques on it, but none of them are what you would get with a
CO2.
with a CO2 or well, not a fiber laser, but a UV laser would be.
And I've tried it with spraying black tempera paint on it, and
Yep.
it kind of works. And you can just wash the paint off, but you could tell it's not crisp.
Right.
Yeah.
So ever since I saw that, I've been wanting to do it. Ever since I saw Daniel show that like image that was in that piece of glass, I've been messaging someone saying I want to do that. I want to do that. So
Yeah, I don't think you'll do it with that laser.
no, I've been telling them I want a UV laser.
Yeah, I don't think you would do it with a basic UV laser either.
Oh, they're doing it. They showed me videos. Yeah.
They're done with a UV laser, but not with a one that's under $20,000.
I didn't say it was cheap. I just said I wasn't. Hey, when you're gonna make a wish list, make it a wish list. You know what I mean?
I've been talking to the Monport guys. They want me to do a review of something, and they wanted a CO2 laser, and I don't have room for one. So I said, give me a fiber laser because I got people asking about them.
Right.
And they said, well, we can give you a 30. I said, no, I'm not going to bother with a 30 because you want real power if you're going. So
Roger and I
hopefully
both,
they'll send me a 50 or a 60.
Roger and I both have Monport K40 lasers.
Yeah.
And I early on when I got it, I had some issues with it. I had bad power supply and just it had some problems right out the gate. And then the temperature gauges didn't work, and they ended up just sending me a whole brand new one. And then they said that we want you to return the other one. And I said, okay. So then I said, well, where's the tracking number, so I can bring it to a UPS store and ship it back to you. They said, oh no, we want you to pay for it. I said, you sent me something that doesn't work. Now you want me to pay to send it back? No, I'm not gonna. No, so they just keep it as extra parts. So I have literally another one just sitting aside. But
yeah, when did you get it? Because I've heard good things about Monport as far as the
how long,
CO2s.
Roger? We got them right around the same time. That was well over a year ago, right?
Oh yeah, it's been well over a year. Of course, the first thing I did when I got mine was modify the hell out of it.
Yeah, we both were doing it. Yeah, we both were doing it. Yeah. So.
And I have a few other things I want to do to it. Yeah, with an elevator table and a different exhaust and. Yeah, but I modified all kinds of stuff on it. I even added a flow meter on the water.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have the one I built. I put all that stuff on it. I can put like a 2-foot piece of something in to engrave on one side of it, or if I want. It's a much nicer laser than my Muse 3D as far as just using different materials.
Yeah, I was just talking to them yesterday because they emailed me about a 100-watt autofocus MOPA laser. And
tell them to send it to me instead.
Yeah, they sent me an email and I said, is this a teaser or what was the point of you sending me this? What's the deal? So there's been a couple emails back and forth. So we'll see if that shows up.
Boy, steel on a diode laser, that's tough no matter how you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough would be an underestimation. I think it
Yeah.
would be impossible, really.
Yeah.
Like there's just even a high power, there's just not enough power there to mark steel. Stainless steel, maybe, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I was trying to find one. I cut through it on accident.
Yeah, the nickel and the stainless steel will give you some results, but unless you've got some steel with a high nickel content, you're not going to get the engrave.
But these are these cheap little thin,
yeah, the cheapy business cards.
Yes. I don't. A lot of people, they say they like using these to focus the fiber lasers, and I just think they're too thin. Because if you have it on constant, because you're trying to watch that arc, it just rips through them like 5 seconds. So I just use this.
Well, yeah. Are they talking about a 50-watt laser, or are they talking about a 20-watt laser?
Yeah. So mine will just cut through it like nothing, because I'll put it on 100%. I want to hear that sound and kind of see the spark arcing. Then it's dialed in perfect.
Average cost for a CO2 laser depends on whether you want a hobby one or a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I told you guys I turned down a contract. I was kind of torn, but yeah.
I turn down contracts all the time because I just flat won't do them.
Yeah, I don't want to be forced to say something.
Yeah. It was just a really big company. We all know them. So
yeah.
I'll just say that. So, yeah, but we already talked about someone signing that, and then their channel kind of just went, because it's pretty much their channel's now exclusively about that, and I don't know.
Anyone we know.
Yeah, I think I know exactly who he's talking about. I'm friends with him. He's a nice guy, though.
I expressed caution.
Yeah.
When probably the same person took a sponsorship deal, and I said, like, you're trapped. Like, you're not going to be able to review anyone else's lasers. You're not going to be able to.
3 years they wanted the contract.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to say things that you think are truthful. Like, I mean, I tell vendors anytime they say we're going to send you a laser, and quite often they'll say, and we want to see the video before you release it. It's like, sure, you can see it, but I'm not changing it.
Yep.
Yeah, I do the same exact thing.
Yeah, and I tell them up front, I'm not out there to bash your laser, but if your laser is bad, I'm going to tell people about it.
Right.
Like, even like, I love the Creality Falcon 2 from a like a mechanical perspective. The thing is amazing. It's a great laser, but it's freaking slow. Like, it's 25,000 millimeters a minute when everyone else is 36 or more. And like, come on, guys, you could own the market with that laser. Like, it's way better than like structurally, it's way better than an X-Tool S1. But it's slow.
Are you doing Zippos? What kind of lighters?
Hope they're not Bic lighters. That'd be a little hazardous.
At least if they are, use low power.
Yeah, really low power. Back to Sharpie would be better.
Yeah.
Yes.
To most hobby engravers.
Oh, sorry. I clicked on it at the same time you did, I guess.
To most hobby engravers, is a CO2 even worth it? The CO2 tubes are expensive, and the mirror alignment seems hard for a novice laser engraver.
It's not that hard. A few pieces of masking tape, and if your eyesight's good and you can identify those dots, it's not difficult.
Yeah. So to get a CO2 laser that works, like will cut, you don't actually have to try too hard to get the alignment. If you want it perfect, like you want square edges on everything, and no matter where you are on the bed, then yeah, you take a little more time, but it's not impossible. I did a video on this myself in part because I wanted to keep mental notes on how to do this, and it's not that bad. Even the tubes, like the tubes are good for if you used it like I used my Muse 3D for almost every day for I don't know, almost 3 years, and I have an extra tube for it. It's sitting up in the cupboard, but I'm still on the same tube.
Yeah.
I'm on
And
the
it-
same tube yet. I've used mine quite a bit. Of course, all I do is cut acrylic with mine, but adds a little bit of
Yeah.
fabric. But otherwise, and I don't run 100% either. I don't run
Yeah.
100% power.
I run 100% all the time.
I do on my diodes, but I don't on the CO2. I
Yeah.
haven't had a need to.
Yeah, I haven't had need to either. And,
Yeah,
and
the trick to longevity on a CO2 tube is to keep it cool.
yep.
I've
So-
got a
So,
big heat
do you actually
exchanger
have
for
a
that.
cooler, or are you using the bucket? Whole.
No,
thing?
I have on my big laser, I have a 5200 chiller.
Oh, I have a see, I have a chiller too.
I have the
Yeah.
heat exchanger.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah.
if it's hot, it can get hot where you live in the summertime, and then it'll heat up a bit.
Yeah. So,
My laser, the tube is always at 18 degrees Celsius, which
Yeah,
I
so
don't
I
know
have-
if that is in America speak, but
well, it don't matter. Ours is in Celsius anyways. I had to convert.
well, that's
the
true. Yeah,
gauges.
you're probably running Celsius
had-
anyway.
I had to convert the gauges. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the laser world, everybody uses millimeters.
Yep. Yep.
It's I don't know how you would use like thousands of inch in Lightburn would just be a nightmare.
Oh, you can do it. I do it
I
both
know
ways.
you can do it.
I do it
Yeah.
both ways. Of course, I can think in both millimeters and inches without a problem.
Yeah, I can too, but it just I don't know. It just you never have to go less than a millimeter anyway. So, but you can in Lightburn, you can go down into fractions of millimeters, but yeah, keep the laser tube cool and it'll last a long time.
Zippos are cool. I like making them. That was definitely cool. I haven't done one that's like engraved completely like 360 all the way around top bottom. I've seen a lot of people do that. That's pretty sick. I've just done like a design on the back or design on the front, or
You need a heck of a good jig to do all four sides.
Yeah. But I've seen a lot of
Doing
people do it.
like a paisley pattern all the way around or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I've seen a lot of people do it. Like, it's pretty cool. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. Their wallet survival flip lighters got them at an awesome price. Oh, the like the kind you can't blow out, whatever. Just depends on the wattage machines. There is one laser that can engrave on steel. Can't think of what it is.
Diode laser?
Ruby laser.
Yeah.
I've got one from longer. Yeah, it'll engrave on steel.
Yeah.
Takes a while, but it engraves. Yeah, you can burn the paint off, but you'll still just have steel.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking stainless steel, any diode laser will engrave stainless steel.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
but
won't cut it.
not like this.
No.
Oh, another
Well-
thing I get all the time is laser engraving galvanized steel with a diode laser. You can't. And no, it won't burn the galvanizer. It won't do anything. So there's no fumes. There's nothing. So people stop telling me not to do that. You cannot engrave galvanized or cut it with a diode laser. Period.
Oh man.
Yeah. And with steel, it doesn't even really matter what the power is. It's the absorption of that wavelength of light into steel just doesn't happen. It just bounces off.
Here we go. Someone's arguing the fact, right? Just depending on water machine. Oh, there. Oh,
Yes.
that one's right. That's yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't depend.
Yeah, the Ruby laser will do it, but not diode.
This is probably a dummy question. Can you laser engrave a project that has been previously finished with hard oil?
I don't see why not if it's
Yep.
wood.
I do these. I finish them completely first and then engrave them.
I would
In
just
part because I after I engrave it, I paint fill it with black acrylic paint. So you want a nice smooth surface so that the paint doesn't stick to the surface.
I just put masking tape over it, and then when I laser engrave it, I can paint. And if I actually get outside the engraving, I just rip off the masking tape.
Yeah, the problem is, see these little dots in the end of the sword here?
Yeah.
Those things are about a millimeter tall.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, for that, if you're using masking tape, you need one of these. This is called a weeding tool.
Yeah, I got
Which
one.
you use
I got
with
several, actually.
yeah, use that. I use that with my Cricut maker.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a 54-inch vinyl platter or
No,
rolling.
if you put a couple coats of polyacrylic on one of these things and then engrave it, you can just pour the black paint in and just take a wet cloth and wipe the surface, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, and make sure you have a sacrificial piece, right? Because you never know how it's going to react.
Well, yeah, if it's a different kind of wood, you want to know what kind of depth you're going to engrave, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The settings for walnut and the settings for balsa wood are not the same.
Exactly. Yep. So where's everyone joining us from tonight? Let us know. Let us know. Drop some comments in the comments below. What state are you joining us from, or what country are you joining us from?
I'm going to show Rick something here. I showed Steve before we went live. We're going to talk about copyrights. I had a couple copyright challenges this week, and one person threatened to sue me for using this picture on my website. You see that picture there?
Yeah.
That house in the background? That's my house.
What?
I told him, I said, have at it. You want to sue me for it? And I want to know where you're using it because you're violating my copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right off my website. And he's wanting to sue me for using a picture of my own house.
The first time I've never gotten this before. I got a message from YouTube, and it said that your content is 100% being copied on others. Do you want to send them a letter, contact them, or have them remove it? It was all three of you for our lives.
Yeah, for our live streams.
Right. And then it was like 10 videos that people have uploaded. And I was like, why would you upload a video of me? Like, how are you pretending that's you? I get if it's like I'm not in the picture and I'm like laser engraving something, you want to pretend it's you, whatever. But if I'm in the video, why would you upload the video? I just sent them a message like, remove it. You know,
all the ones I have, they're certainly the live streams, but mostly vendors. Well, they're all vendors.
Yeah,
because they'll ask, right, when you do a video, they'll say, hey, can we use this for promotion?
Yeah, I give them permission too.
Me too.
Yeah, my only criteria there is put a link to my YouTube page back in there so people can come and find it.
Yeah, a Tether did that. They uploaded one of my videos, but they didn't even link me back. I don't know. I did the P5, the V35, and then they were supposed to send me the L2, but then I think they saw the Iker K1 Pro, and then they just never sent me the L2.
I got an L2.
So I was like, I think they got mad. They saw the Iker K1 Pro, and then that was the end of them selling me the L2 because I'm pretty sure it's the same laser.
So I referenced it actually when I did the Iker laser a couple of weeks ago there, and it like the Z-axis looks exactly the same, like literally the same. I meant to go pull the other one out and have a look at it and see if I could replace one with the other. Because I think they're the same. Like they like even the control, everything is the same.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's Steve. He's one of my subscribers.
An Ontario. I used to live in Ontario.
Oh. Put a sticker on your machine. Yeah, I should start doing that. So if they steal the footage, your logo's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, I figure I'll wait till it actually happens and then I'll do it. But
yeah, I never got one of those notifications before.
Yeah, no, I get them quite often because I've shared quite a few videos with vendors, and as soon as you do and they post it, YouTube sends you a message and says, hey, someone's stealing your video.
Right. That's crazy. Texas. Yeah, you know what? I used to look at my videos and see where people were watching me from.
Mm-hmm.
So if I saw like France, Germany, and I start seeing other countries, I started converting my videos to other languages. And when I did that, I saw the engagement go way up and I saw the views go way up more for those countries. But guess what happened? Let's just say the video had 3,000 views, right? and I converted it to 5 different languages, and all of a sudden the video had 7,000. YouTube is removing the views. I saw the view count go up, and then they would go down. And I sent a message, and that's because the views are not from your country of origin. Too many outside of the country views. So I just said, well, I'm not even.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. But you don't have to do translation anymore, right? YouTube can do it for you.
Right, but it doesn't do the descriptions and the comments and all that. They can do the auto. Right. So so it doesn't. It may not come up in the search the same because it won't know what it is. So yeah.
Well, when I was in Mexico, I watched one of my own videos from Mexico with the translation.
Nice.
And it doesn't translate well because I can speak Spanish. So, or at least I can read it. I don't speak it real well, but I can read it and understand it fine. But,
She said, you said, El tengo el gato dos pantalones.
My gringo accent is really bad, so I don't use it.
Do you remember where that's from? Do you remember where that's from?
No.
Bad Boys. But he ran across the border and he yells at him, El tengo el gato dos pantalones. like, you have a cat in your pants? Oh, I must have messed up that translation.
So the next wave of YouTube is they're doing they're using AI to do the translation and create a video of you speaking that language.
That's crazy.
So you can stumble in Spanish with your real voice at that point. They're like deep fakes, right? They're using the same technology as deep fakes.
So some company asked me to join, and I did, and I uploaded a couple videos, but I think it's called Bumble or something. It's like a wannabe YouTube.
Oh yeah, they've been nagging me too, but I look at them and it's like, so you got to be careful because so I do know somebody who joined there, and the second they joined there, YouTube shut them out.
Really?
They just stopped referring their videos.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that YouTube is trying to be devious or anything, but yeah, they that was the skinny. He just stopped getting views on YouTube when he did that.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between being YouTube recommended versus, whatever. What is it? I got 500 views from the TTC 450 in 5 hours. The startup, the thing that algorithm likes seeing selling products. Yeah.
Well, sure, they like. Well, I don't know if that's true because the algorithm. So if you're selling someone else's laser, like if you're doing selling is a bad word. If you're doing a review of someone else's laser, no other laser company is going to advertise on that video.
Right. But I did see that now in your videos, you can tag items.
Yes.
Yep.
So like Home Shopping Network will give you like between 18 to 25%, which is nuts. Walmart, Home Depot, like big names. And when I did tag those products, I noticed that YouTube was recommending them more. Because they're getting a piece of the pie too, right?
Oh, I know quite a few words of Spanish that are not nice. That's what I learned first.
I figure my goal in life is to speak enough of any language to order a beer.
There you go. There you go.
You go to the right countries. So in Germany, of course, the German word for beer is beer. So it's it's pretty easy.
I got sent to the Czech Republic, and I had like 3 days notice ahead of time, so I had no time to learn Czech. But as soon as I got there, I learned 2 words. One was pivo, which is beer, and the other one was thank you, which they say dickwe. And I thought that was funny, so I learned that one right away.
I used to have a team in the Czech Republic.
That's hilarious.
The Czech Republic it's very scenic there. Prague is a really nice city, but if you like to drink beer and you like pork, barbecued pork, the Czech Republic is the place to go.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
And I was working outside of Prague where nobody spoke any English, but there were a few people that spoke Spanish, so that's kind of how we half-ass communicated.
Nice.
The typical European synchronization. find out which language you both speak.
Yeah.
Someone says, sorry guys, I missed the answer to my question because my daughter called. We'll go back and watch it later.
Apparently we missed the question, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love German food too. What amazed me about you go to any beer hall in like I was in Munich for a week a couple of years ago, and you see these like 50-pound girls working in these brew houses, and they carry like 8 2-liter glasses in each hand, and they carry them out, and they're out here like they're holding them straight out. It's like, holy cow, like that's like 20 pounds in each hand that you're carrying.
Well, if
What
you
kind of
want,
house were you in?
if you want to
There weren't
answer,
red lights, were there?
if you want to answer this one in Spanish, it's quiero una cerveza, and the second one is donde está un baños.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, cerveza is beer, right?
Yep. Got one right here.
Yeah. Mine went down really fast.
Well, I'm on my third one here, so
Oh man, I need to
So
put
you're
a cooler
mellowing
down.
out.
I need to put a cooler down in my basement.
I need to put one in my workshop.
I'm one of those people that doesn't have to have it cold. I don't care either way.
Nah, mine's got to be cold. Yeah.
Back when I was in Germany, a couple places I went, the beer was like room temperature.
You really only need to learn to. Yeah, we were seeing that. Yeah.
Well, you don't even have to know where to ask where the bathroom is, because if you just, if you start going, someone will point you to the right place.
I would say start out with fence pickets because they're super cheap and you can practice on them. And if you screw it up, who cares?
And a real cheap thing to practice with is the cardboard container the laser came in.
Yep.
Yes.
Cardboard's a great thing to play with to learn stuff.
Yeah. If you have an Amazon account, you have lots of free material to work with.
Yeah.
I didn't know Amazon delivers in Canada.
2-day delivery.
That's not even a joke. I'm serious. That's not a joke.
No, the Amazon is everywhere.
I didn't know that.
There's an Amazon distribution center about 10 minutes from me.
Crazy. Yeah, same with me. That's why they're at my house 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I lived in Ontario, the Amazon distribution center was at the end of my road, so I would order things at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have them by lunchtime.
Nice.
And when I was in Mexico in January, I had a couple of SD cards sent to me from Amazon to my condo in Mexico.
Nice.
And I got them in 2 days. I'm Prime, so
Yeah, my grass in my front yard kept dying. I'm like, why the hell does the grass keep dying? That's my wife. You order too much from Amazon. There's like a path dying to our front door. And what I realized what it was, I have a retainer wall and I spray waxing, like the weed killer on it so that, no weeds ever grow. So they were stepping on it and then walking through my yard.
no.
So they were literally killing the grass with pesticides on their shoes. So I'm like,
You're paying the price for your lack of environmentalism.
Yeah. So I told my wife I'm gonna put a little short picket fence above so they can't cut through the front yard.
With a roll of razor wire on top of it.
My best friend is an executive for Morris Coors, and Modelo is the number one beer world.
Molson is a good. It used to be a good Canadian beer company. It got bought by Coors.
Yeah, Modelo is now number one. Yep.
Yeah.
They've been for a few months.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Budweiser fell back after their little advertising fiasco.
You got to stand by your principles.
That was wow. Yeah.
It was a poor choice on somebody's part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, companies shouldn't get political.
Rick, what is your honest opinion on owning a MOPA? Are you enjoying learning the experience? 100%. So the big difference, I think, between owning a standard fiber laser and a MOPA laser is the kind of the temperature that you can engrave at. So like you can do plastics and stuff. But the real big difference is you can really engrave. Okay, how do I say this? The higher rating that the fiber laser is, that you can do finishing passes. So it's like, let's just say you were engraving to depths, right? And you have a 30 versus a 60. The 60 is not like twice as fast. Like you think it's going to be twice as fast because it's twice as powerful. It's not. But what is faster is that the higher frequency ranges, the ranges that it can do into a polishing pass after your deep engraving. So it's less elbow work for you polishing it by hand to get it to shine. So
how many watts is your Mopa laser?
60.
60.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it at 100%, it'll cut through this in like one single pass. Like,
Yeah. Well, a 60 watt Mopa laser is like a 100 watt regular fiber, right? So
yeah. So I mean, yeah. Somebody asked me when they saw this on the video. They says, how long did this take? This one right here. Why is it all weird? Here you go. This one. How long did that take? And I says, I didn't spin it up. Like, that was real time.
Have you tried copper yet?
No, I have a company actually who told me that they want to send me a bunch of all different kinds of like metal, like this thinner metal, 1 millimeter and thinner rolls, copper and all different kinds of steel.
I was thinking maybe you could get a hold of a piece of bus bar to play with.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to do that with one of my CNCs. I'm going to try to do copper on a CNC. See
Yeah,
how it works.
so I see people doing that with the thicker copper, and they're polishing it up, and it almost looks like a gold, like a yeah. They're making jewelry or whatever.
see, we've ruined our own audience. Now they're making Jaeger bombs.
Oh, Jägermeister. Oh, liquid Valium is what that is.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is so bad.
It's like that, and what's that liquor with the gold in it? I forget that.
Goldschlager.
Yeah, that's
Gold
stuff.
Flame,
Yeah. Why was that ever cool to drink? I don't
I only know that because I used to be a bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah. My goal would be to filter the gold out of it and throw the rest away.
I'll throw a little something out there for anybody that's doing rotary engraving with their laser. You can get these jars at Dollar Tree right now, and they have a holder in them for like a little tea light candle. So if you wanted to engrave like butterflies or something on the glass on your rotary, it's a real cheap thing to do.
The hefty rotary.
Here's another one. This is bigger.
Wow, I thought my one rotary was big.
This thing is huge.
Do you have a com marker, Rick?
No.
Not Rick. Sorry, Roger. It's getting late.
Have a what?
A com marker B2 or B4 rather.
No.
Yeah, so the laser is a 20 watt fiber laser. It's okay. I mean, that's what I did most of these things that I did engraving on metal, but it comes with a pretty impressive rotary as well. Then the rest of the laser, I didn't like. It's like they must use it on some of their bigger models.
The one thing I wanted to get was this table. I seen that you can buy this table. They screw it in. It's this way, and then the whole
turn that one around.
Yeah, you could, but I'm saying so that you could leave the rotary off to the side.
Yeah.
And just so that once it's dialed in, you're not like messing with it because your table is here, right? And the rotary is technically here, so that you would just turn the head, and you're not like.
Yeah, I've got rotary envy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was thinking about it. I saw some guy on YouTube put it on. And the other thing too is that the holes that they have them, they're closer together. So it makes it easier to jig stuff up.
Yeah, Adam Stack makes a nice rotary for a diode laser. Ortur has a good one too, but they're not near as big as what Rick has there.
Yeah, I have both of them. Yeah.
This is the one that comes with the com marker. It's pretty hefty actually for the size of the laser. What's nice about it is you can it's got the nice spring-loaded chuck.
Do you have the Tezer rotary?
Yes. Yeah.
No. Yep.
I have the rotary and the what's the one where you lay flat?
The roller, yeah.
Yeah, the roller. I honestly never used either one of them though. Have you?
It's actually a pretty nice rotary.
Yeah.
Like it's hefty, right? And you can tilt it, which is nice.
Yeah.
What does Conrad have in his hands? It looks like it's a cat. Thought it was a wild animal.
He's competing with Daniel. He's trying to rub
Yeah.
rub.
We'll put him
He's
back.
trying to rub
No.
raccoons.
Oh, you need a green screen though.
Yes.
Uh-oh. What do we catch you doing, Dad?
Hey, get on the internet.
that cat is in some kind of temporal instability there. He's jumping between universes.
Yeah.
Cat couldn't stand the fact that I was staring at the TV or the monitors for so long.
Yeah. So no, man, this is pretty cool. I think that this is getting a little bit more organized. I apologize for being late again today. But I guess that was the plan of this.
We're getting used to it. We're learning to live with disappointment.
It won't be a habit, but just
although as I discovered, I can actually start pushing people on, and once we're on, it just started automatically at the right time, right? So
did it or did you start it?
I didn't start it.
Conrad, did you start it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh, okay. How'd you start it?
I clicked the button that said start stream.
Oh,
I
that
don't
makes
have
sense.
one of those.
I don't have one of those either.
I'll sit there and go, well, you know, it like got 3 seconds past and you were talking about it and it hadn't started yet. So I'm like, well, let me just click the button.
Rick doesn't give us that kind of power.
Yeah.
Daniel was going to give something away tonight, wasn't he? He was going to give his hammer away. He'll have to do it next week. Or was he going to give it away on his own channel?
When I if I were to chat or post into the live chat, I come across as Rick.
Do you say something? Oh, that's weird.
He's even you on Facebook.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I was looking all over trying to find where the only thing I think of is that it's posting to your accounts as you, rather than like feeding to the stream from me.
I don't know. That's weird. I'm not sure why that happened.
Well, getting back to Rick's idea there about featuring a actual project on a live stream, I don't know. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
As long as it's not too complicated of a project or runs too long. I mean, if you want to do a photo engrave on stainless or something, that's going to take a long time.
Right.
But to do a simple cutout or some simple shapes, or especially for somebody that's just getting started out that doesn't really know what they're doing, it'd be a good learning experience for them.
So, do we have any volunteers? Anyone want to step?
Yeah,
forward
it'll be a little challenging because, like, for me, my workbench is back there, right? So like you can't zoom into things. Like my camera is mounted on a mount here, right? So you can't just kind of pick it up and go, oh, let's have a close up over there.
Well, if I could figure out a way to get my GH5 connected to the computer, I've never tried that. That might be something I could do. I've got, 3 different studios, basically. This is one of them. But this was a quiet, clean, warm, cool, temperature-controlled one. Where I get down in the shop, it's going to be dusty and dirty. And
yeah. I'll be in once I get Studio 2 finished. I'll be in my house, in my office, as opposed to out here. So I don't know.
I would say too, whoever's actually doing it's probably going to be muted, right? Because it's going to be so damn loud. To everyone else's audio, right? That's almost mute and then unmute yourself when you. Yeah,
it's just when I move into my new studio, I probably won't have a camera out here.
Yeah.
Or if we, in the process of doing a project, other people could be interjecting or answering other questions or whatever, because
would be cool too, Roger. How'd you had that second monitor thing? if you just had a monitor on the laser as it was doing its thing, and we continue on, right? And you could just like show it live. That's kind of cool too.
Yeah, if I could figure out how to work 2 cameras from this at once. I tried that once before and it didn't work. I'll have to do a little research on live stream and see if you can do that. The switch
Yes.
between cameras.
StreamYard you can, and you can post both cameras.
So I was lucky to be able to post that slide of that laser engraver.
So it says
Or cover. Or
at the
enclosure.
bottom of your screen. Do you see an option that says present?
I've got a
I
thing
do.
for I could present.
Okay, so then it says extra camera. Do you have that option?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got I could do a slide.
You don't
I
have
got
extra
slide.
camera?
That's all I could do is a slide. I can't do under settings. Well, I could change cameras there, I guess.
Yeah, mine says slides, extra camera, and video file.
No, I don't have that
Share
option.
screen.
Nope, I don't have that option.
Yeah, because that'd be cool. Then we had an extra camera. You could just add it on the laser. Yeah, kind of like what he's doing right now.
Just a webcam or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That option I don't have on mine here.
What happens?
Do you
How do
have-
you pick the? Oh, okay, I see.
You have 2 cameras hooked up right now? I mean, I got like an external webcam and then my laptop camera. So I have 2 cameras hooked up right now.
Yeah.
Is it like 2 webcams?
Yeah, you can have a lot of different webcams hooked up.
You could take your Lightburn camera and hook it up to the computer. There you go. That would be pretty cool because it's actually facing straight down, right?
Yeah.
That'd actually be pretty cool. Might try that out.
Well, I'm gonna have to do some experimenting, see if I can take the HDMI out of my Panasonic GH5 and put it in the HDMI on this computer and see if it'll work that way. I've never tried that.
The HDMI on your computer is probably an output, though. You
Yeah,
need you need
probably.
an HDMI data video capture adapter. They're like $20 though.
Yeah, I need more accessories laying around here on this table. So
There you go. There's an excuse.
yeah,
You could blame us to your wife. Oh, they told me we need this.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
can also do this. You can, if you have multiple monitors, you could have a video feed playing on one monitor. So you could like record a video and then play the video back on the separate monitor. So it could be doing its thing. So it could be memorized, not even live.
Yes. So I guess you could do a project and then kind of speed up and edit things out. It doesn't have to be live even. That'd be cool.
well, I could do that. I do have that option. I could present a video instead of just like a slide. That option's here on the screen.
Okay. Do you want to try? Do you want to attempt that next week?
Yeah, I could come up with one. It'll be a short, simple one.
Okay.
Maybe I'll show how to make these real spiffy signs like this. So
We got enough comments on it. I think people would get a kick out of it. I won't be hanging one, but I'll take one for the team just for laughs.
and it doesn't necessarily have to have a pentacle in the middle, but that's for good luck. That's like hanging a horseshoe over your door. It's not a satanic thing or anything.
Keep saying that. Keep saying that.
You mean you don't have a coven in your house?
No,
There's a black cloud over his house.
no. The coven's a block over from here.
Yeah, that's cool. It looks like we hit time, guys. It's 8:30. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I just want to say thank you everyone for your input. If you have ideas like that, I was sharing stuff or the whole
Yeah,
idea of us.
Certainly, if there's projects people would like to see, just drop them to one of us, and we'll endeavor to take it on.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as it's not like build a coffee table or something. We'll leave that to Daniel, but I don't think he'll do it in 2 hours.
Well, if you wanted to see, something laser cut or laser engraved, or maybe a little simple
materials.
CNC project or something like that.
I think you could do something like make a take, make a simple box, something like that, 4x4x3, something simple box that's just straight woodworking. Make a box, and then do something with it, with the CNC or the lathe. Modify a basic thing using one of the fancy tools.
I guess that would definitely be the argument to say that lasers or CNCs are not woodworking tools, so we could take a woodworking project and upgrade it, so to speak.
Upgrade it.
Oh,
modify it.
I was thinking it became a head-to-head, right? Daniel makes a box out of like actual lumber, and one of us cuts one out of with a laser, and see who's done first.
Sorry, Daniel. But all right. Well, hey guys, I just want to say thank you guys for joining me. I'm really enjoying this, and I think it's evolving, getting better, and we're seeing that in the crowds and people interacting, the same people coming back. So that says something in itself. Yeah, so that's cool. So
keep the input coming too. That's good feedback. Yeah.
Let us know what you'd like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool. We have Conrad now to help us do the comments, so we can focus more on the comments and we're not clicking on each other's. But I'll make sure I'm on time next week. I promise.
Do you want me to send you an email or something?
No, we're good. We're sorry. I was, yeah. You can always call me if you want, but we'll be good. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys joining us for another live. Be back. Are we going to officially do next Thursday instead of Friday then? We're good with that?
Yeah,
next Thursday.
That works. Next Thursday. That works.
Next Thursday. And we will all post comments on our social media to remind everyone it's Thursday instead of Fridays. And this is due to popular request. With summer coming up, people think that there's going to have activities going on, family things, and family is first. We appreciate you spending time with us and joining us for these lives.
Okay, thanks. We'll see you all next week.
Thanks.